Welcome, everybody. Welcome to ZionCapitalFX. My name is Chance, and this is the video log series where we take someone who doesn't know anything about forex, indices, or the markets in general and put them on a path towards consistent profitability and financial freedom. This is the 10th vlog episode that I've done, and it's hard for me to believe that I've gone 10 episodes so far and not cover this, most simple, basic concept, and that is what is a pip. So we're gonna rectify that right now, and let's get right into it. So, what is a pip? A pip is a short acronym for percentage in point or price interest point. It is the smallest whole unit of price that a forex instrument can make. The pip in most forex pairs is represented by the fourth decimal place, and a pip is a 1/100th of 1% or 1 basis point. Whew. Most forex pairs price is quoted out to 4 decimal places, and depending on the broker and the chart feed you use to do your technical analysis and to even place, enter or exit a trade, you may even see up to 5 decimal places. The key here is not to be confused. Even if you see 5 decimal places, the pip is going to be found in the 4th decimal place. So let's look at some examples of price movement. Let's see here. If EU is at a price of 1.0980, the 4th decimal place, like I said before, right here, that is the pip value. Okay. That is the smallest unit of measurement, whole unit of measurement price can make. Right. If price is at that point, and if price goes up 10 pips, well, there's the answer right there. Price is then going to become 1.090 pips. If price were to let's go back to the 980 example. If price were to go down 10 pips, price would then become 1.0970. Even on the scale over here on the trading view chart, you can see right here, you can see that there's 5 decimal places, right? There's a reason for that. And don't be confused. It's the 4th decimal place that you're looking at to find the value of the pip. So there is exceptions to that, right? So when you're dealing with pairs that are like Japanese yen specific, you're going to see that the price quoted is either 2 or 3 decimal places. Japanese yen pairs are different, and the pip is going to be found on the 2nd decimal place, right? So let's right here. Here's an example of the Great British Pound to Japanese yen. Price is 166.853. Okay. The pip is going to be found on the 2nd decimal place, 8 or the 5, right? So let's go and get into some examples of how price will move for the Japanese yen. If price is currently 166.85, right, and the 2nd decimal place, I keep wanting to say 4th, it's the 2nd decimal place on the Japanese yen is the pip value. If it goes up 5 pips, then price becomes 166.90. If it goes up 10 pips from there, it becomes 167.00. And another 10 pips, you get the idea. It'll be 167.10. Okay. But sometimes you're going to see 3 decimal places. 3, right? You're going to see 3 decimal places because depending on the broker and the chart feed you're using, they're going to give you more of this. Now, this concept of recognizing which decimal place the pip value can be found is severely undervalued. Without this fundamental concept under your belt, your understanding of how the forex instruments move will be slightly skewed. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Most forex pairs, the pip value is found on the 4th decimal place. And then on the Japanese pairs, the pip value is found on the 2nd decimal place. I'm trying not to trip up on my own words here. As you can see, I'm struggling. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but now I touched on it. Now I want to introduce another value that is found and once again is misunderstood when looking at quoted price on charts or your broker's feed. I said earlier, you're going to see sometimes up to 5 decimal places on most pairs and up to 3 decimal places on the Japanese pairs. This fifth and third value, depending on the asset, is known as the pipette. Sounds cute. Now the pip is the smallest whole unit that is found in a quoted currency's price value. And if that's the case, then the pipette is just a percentage of 1 pip. That's all it is. The pipette is usually displayed as a number in a smaller font or superscript at the end of a quoted price. I think I had examples of that on the EU chart. Yeah. So here, EU, the 4th decimal place is the pip. This number 2, that's the 5th decimal place. That's the pipette, right? That is 2/10 of a pip. And then on the Great British Pound Japanese yen, the 3rd decimal place is the pipette for the Japanese yen pairs, and that is 3/10 of 1 pip. Okay. It's really important to understand that. Let's see. Now, do pipettes, do they really matter when we're deciding whether or not we want to enter or exit a trade? No, not really. I just want you to be aware of their existence and not confuse them for pips. Because a lot of times I've seen experienced traders, looking at EU and they see the pipette and the pips, and they're like, "Oh man, EU just jumped 100 pips." Well, if you know anything about EU, that's I don't want to say that that'll never happen, but that's not very common. EU just doesn't jump like random 100 pips, and come to find out, it only jumped like 10 pips. They were reading the pipette and the pip wrong, and they just, for whatever reason, they didn't understand the values within a quoted price. So I just want you to be aware of that and understand that wholeheartedly. 4th decimal place, I sound like a broken record. 4th decimal place on major forex pairs is the pip. The 5th decimal place is the pipette. On Japanese yen pairs, the 2nd decimal place is the pip. The 3rd decimal place is the pipette. So why do you need to know this? Why do you need to know what a pip is? And if these numbers are so minuscule, how can forex possibly be profitable for a newbie trader or beginner? Well, it's good to have an understanding of how the market in which you trade, and because there's countless hundreds of different kinds of markets out there in which you can participate, but it's important to know how the forex market moves. Forex moves in pips. These numbers do seem very fractional and very small. So how can anyone make money when price moves in increments like that? Well, if you go back to my video on what is leverage, right? You would understand that when leverage comes into play, your buying power is significant. And a standard contract size in forex is 100,000 units. So when you think you're purchasing 1 unit or 1 unit of an asset, you're actually buying thousands of units of a particular instrument. So with knowing that, and then between the power of compounding exponential gains, you can become very profitable. Even if price just makes a small incremental change in value, you can be very profitable and have like insane gains. If that didn't make sense, then I highly encourage you to look at my video, What is Leverage? Because then you'll have a better understanding of how that works and how that kind of correlates into what we're talking about right now. So at the end of the day, I mean, really, as a new forex trader, when you're starting out, I need you to be focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's catching pips, right? People lose focus and they take their eyes off the prize. Too many people only look at the money in which they can possibly make or lose, and they're not focusing on the process. You have to focus on the process, not the outcome. They aren't thinking in terms of pips. You need to learn how to catch 5 pips. Once you do that, then you can work on catching 10 pips. And then, once you learn how to catch 10 pips consistently, Now let's work on catching 20. All right. And then you get that down. All right. Now let's start working on catching 40, and so on and so on and so on. It's really important to understand this. If you take away anything right now, take away this. Making money is solely and only a byproduct of a great trader's process. I'm going to say that again. Making money is only a byproduct of a great trader's process. It is not the main focus. I understand that we all want to make money. That's a no-brainer. That's why you got into this. But as you mature into an experienced trader, you're going to realize it's about the process. The process becomes the most important part of trading. If you could only catch 10 pips a day and catch them consistently, so consistently catch 10 pips a day for the rest of your life. And if you're a disciplined trader and you're a disciplined in financial management, there's no reason why you couldn't be a millionaire. Let that sink in. As fractional and minuscule and small as these numbers may sound, if you can catch 10 pips a day for the rest of your life consistently, and if you manage your money well, there is no reason why you can't be a millionaire. That's pretty powerful stuff. So you got to learn to do that. You've got to learn how to catch pips and small increments, and then work on and doing that, right? So and you're going to see that it's going to be a byproduct of, or making money is going to be a byproduct of that. You need to learn how to make $100 before you learn how to make $10,000, right? Because once you learn how to make $100, now you need to learn how to make $300. Once you learn how to make $300, now you need to learn how to make $500 and $750 and then $1,000. And then that $1,000 turns into $5,000, and it just keeps going from there. You're going to refine your process. You're going to focus on your process, and that's what's going to make you consistently profitable. I guarantee it. So hopefully that made sense. I know I kind of rambled there and went off into the weeds a little bit, but you got to know what a pip is. And then when you really boil it down to what forex trading is, all you're doing is catching pips. That's all you're doing. All you're doing. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Any comments, questions, anything, throw them down in the comments, please. I'll read them. I'll answer them. And I thank you guys for your time. And until next time, stay safe in the markets. And remember, it's all about catching pips, right? Catch you next time.